Hello, everyone. My name is Dio Morales, your host of the Gold Squadron podcast, and we're coming to you live from the top 32 of the Dathomir Galactic Championship qualifier. Super excited to be here. My co-host for this round is the Duke of Hobbies. This is our community team up. How you doing, Duke?
Good. How's everyone else doing?
I'm excited, man. This is going to be a great matchup. Now, before we go too far, I already know that our audience wants to put in their bets for how this matchup is going to go. So we're going to get that started for them now. And Duke, go ahead and break down these lists.
All right. We got Stefan on with Empire going on with a Darth Vader, Hate, FCS, and Afterburners. Then a Sunterfell with Crackshot targeting computer. Very attack-focused Sunterfell. Love it. Fifth Brother with Hate, passive sensors, and a homing missile. So a really cool double 6 and an I-4 list. And then going over to Bartosz, bringing a 2-ship, 2 large base build for the Rebels with Dash Rendar, Trickshot, Piston, Perspective Copilot, and Outrider. You know, it's been a while since we've seen Dash, and it's amazing to see him out here right now. So, and then his team up, Chopper in the VCX 100 passive sensors, Zeb and Saw Gerrera. So, this is a very block-heavy focused Chopper with the return shots too.
Yeah, you know, I'm excited to see how this shakes out. And you can see right now Bartosz bringing Dash up to that top side where those aces are. 2 4-dice attacks, really, really strong. I'm curious to see where Stefan is going to focus his fire. If you guys are not familiar with both these players, Bartosz is a day 2 competitor, last Worlds. Stefan, also a Worlds caliber player. You know, just came over from Europe, was able to make it in the last chance qualifier, last Worlds, and was a competitor in the event. So very top level play here. And this is an interesting matchup. And I know I have been informed that Bartosz calls his list dash to the chopper. So a la Arnold Schwarzenegger. And yeah, I'm curious, Duke, who do you think has the edge in this matchup? Because, you know, I think it can really go either way.
I think that's the truth here. This is going to be, you got these 3 very super agile ships for the Empire again, and then 2 I-6s, which Dash does not like to see higher initiative than him right now. Mm-hmm. But the other factor is Dash can pull the double shooting with the piston, and if we see Bartosz get a chopper to block and actually stop one of these aces on the board, give out those 2 double jam tokens, and just shut down, say, Suntir, you're probably just going to see him disappear from the board completely. Because even if Suntir bumps into Chopper and gets his free bullseye ability, it's just gone. Which is that, you know, Chopper is an anti-Suntir in this case. Plus, Chopper is a big gun too, so you can't just ignore him completely and go all in for Dash, because if Chopper's allowed to do whatever he wants with that passive sensors, he's going to have a target lock Saw Gerrera effectively focus, you know, and target lock on one of those ships, and it's 4 dice. That's, you know, your high chance of getting those 4 hits and pushing a crit through, which these aces do not like to see at all.
No, they don't. And a couple of tools in Bartosz's bag here. So notice Dash, of course, has a primary 4-dice attack. In range 1, it would only be a 3-dice attack because of the sensor blind spot. We'll make sure to mention that if that comes to pass. Additionally, Dash has Trick Shot, which can make shots through asteroids, add an additional attack die, so potentially 5 dice going into these aces. Definitely some some tough choices for Stefan, because if Dash is able to catch any of these aces and he's able to get average dice, he's going to be doing slow damage, and these aces don't have a lot of health, so you're just kind of picking away. And the interesting thing in this list is because Chopper is 16 health, that, like, it's 0 agility, it's pretty easy to get damage in there, but at the same time you still have that a real threat that takes a long time to get off of the board.
Yes, yeah, it's a lot of health. It's definitely a lot of damage you got to push through first, in anyways. And then you brought up that good interaction with 5 dice coming from Dash Rendar if it's a trick shot, but the Outrider title also takes away the advantage of even the obstruction bonus.
Yep.
So
I need to comment right here on the hard 2 by Chopper. This is Bartosz betting that Vader is going to try to afterburners up the alley behind. Like you would have expected in most cases people to bank with Chopper, and Bartosz is betting, saying, "I think you were going to try to get through the alley. I'm going to 5 dice you at range 1 in the face." That is what that is.
Yeah, and seeing the bear rule here for Dash, taking that stress early on, trying to get that good positioning, definitely getting out of the passive sensor fifth brother shot, which is a great call there, and being able to probably just put in some return fire.
Yeah, I mean, with Fifth Brother's ability and homing missile, it's essentially free damage or a 4 dice attack, and Dash wants nothing to do with that. So I believe he got the arc dodge. I'll go ahead and shift my personal camera. Yes, he did. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he sure did. So he'll get an uncontested shot. He won't have any modifiers on that, but not getting shot is a good thing. And plus, he can use Outrider to clear the stress pretty easy. All right, Soontir turning away here. With looks like he's taking a target lock, probably a boost in. Yes, he's gotten into the flank. Let's see where Vader is going. So interesting call there.
This was a great move to by Stefan. Being able to use Soontir's adaptability with double actions there. But now we're gonna see. Oh, this bet by Bartosz. I think we're going to see Vader probably barrel here, but I believe that will still be an arc, no matter what with a barrel.
Yeah, Vader's going to get shot by Chopper. The interesting thing is if Bartosz had banked in, both Soontir and Vader would have gotten out of arc, both of them. By being a little bit flatter, because Vader would have been able to roll towards the top of the screen to get out of the arc, and then Soontir would have been able to go on the opposite side. So with Chopper's turn in, even though he wasn't able to catch Soontir, he is going to be able to shoot Vader, because now Soontir's in the way of Vader from being able to do an afterburners and then barrel roll. So at least Vader has shields, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely going to help him against the Saw Gerrera return fire.
Yep, and I think at this point, probably Fifth Brother will just focus fire into Chopper as well. Just so you know what, I don't have dash anyway, so we'll see how much damage the VCX ends up taking. What was the action on Chopper? Do we have a?
He passive censored with Chopper there, okay. And then Vader followed up with target lock, barrel, and a focus.
Okay, so he will have a fully modified shot coming in from Chopper, using that Saw Gerrera crew. All right, I think we should be getting into the engagement now.
Yeah, I really like Stefan's decision here. He picking Fifth Brother, going down that middle was a good call, just because, again, even though he's going to not get to shoot at dash, he's still going to follow up shots. So this is great setup to be able to put all 3 guns into one ship early on, and that's going to be key to his success here. Getting that damage in, it's a lot of health into the Ghost, so he has to do damage into it. Might as well. It's going to be the easier ship to catch, and when he's at full strength, go for it.
All right, so here we go. First attack coming in from Vader. And 2 hits. He has fire control system on Darth Vader, so he'll go ahead and get the reroll. He could spend the additional force or a focus to convert that. And he's going to go ahead and use the force. And then turns a crit because of the ATC. And 3 shields early on here. And here comes Soontir. Range 1.
I'm a little surprised he decided not to try and shoot with Soontir first, because I would expected Vader shoot second since he has a better chance of putting those crits in. But this is 4 dice into 0, so Soontir being Soontir is gonna definitely put a lot of hurt in and get no return shots back at him anyways this round. So this is definitely, he can spend everything on this attack.
All right, here we go.
All right.
4 dice from Soontir, and got 1. Has target lock focus, so you just go ahead, spend the lock on the blank, and spend it because you got no threats coming in. And I totally agree with you, Duke, there. The order, I think a little bit of an oversight because Vader can pretty easily get crits into people. We'll see if it ends up costing them later, having the possibility for crits. And that's going to be 4 more damage.
Yeah, that's how Chopper is hurting here. We're probably going to see that follow up with homing missile too from Fifth Brother. So definitely at least 1 crit. I can't see Chopper escaping the Fifth Brother crit now, but
Ooh, and Dash whiffs there on that attack. Doesn't even need to spend any force there on Fifth Brother defensively. And even with the focus, Dash would have normally had, it only would have been 1 hit on that roll. And here we go. That is an unobstructed shot, probably. Looking at the target lock, we'll see. Actually, that's the range closest to closest. We'll see where the arc actually lies.
Yeah, I think he's trying to make that decision. He could go and just kind of take that target lock on Dash and kind of then be more defensible with Fifth Brother in the next couple turns here. So, there is this concern with that, and he can keep just following with the shots later. But I think the aggressive call is going to be into Chopper here.
Yep, and it is unobstructed.
Wow, just gonna take that hit crit. They're not even gonna talk about it. Just
we're just going for it.
Going right to it. Yeah.
So it's a wounded pilot. And here we go, going into Vader. Passive sensors, target lock. 4v3. Let's go ahead and find out what happens here. He would love this to be a hit. Not going to be, but doesn't have to worry about Saw Gerrera. Hit, crit, crit. Remember, Vader does have a focus still, even though he spent all his force. And he's going to get 1 shield there.
Yeah, now the kind of the question comes here is these aces are a little more predictable. Soontir kind of can't just loop right behind him on this follow-up turn, though. And, he's forced to kind of disengage from Chopper, essentially, because Chopper will just kind of be there to block and maybe follow up with it could end up being a return shot from Zeb if need be. But and then Vader's going to try and get some good damage in there, and and he has options of, does he continue Fifth Brother into Chopper, or does Vader try to completely disengage? So, and then now that Dash is definitely going to be in this combat for round 3 of this matchup.
All right, now we are back to dials. Yeah, looking at the positioning right now, I'm curious to see where Bartosz is going to put Chopper. I'm sure he's been in this situation before where he's taken a lot of damage early on Chopper, the 0 agility, and especially that he's not reinforcing if you're bringing passive sensors most of the time.
Right, you got to take advantage of that ghost gun. As important it is to get that reinforce off when it's a solo ghost. Go for damage. You won't regret it. It's just too good of a gun, and being able to line up, getting that arc. The fact that great flying there by Bartosz to prevent Vader, both Vader and Soontir, like you said earlier, from escaping the arc completely. So you got to take what you can get here. and basically wounded pilot does not affect him per se, because his action will come later with that. Well, I guess it is an action to spend it. So
yeah.
It is an action to spend it. So there is a chance that he could not get his additional lock, but he has to always saw Guerrero to follow up with those eyeballs.
Yeah, it actually wounded pilot is with passive sensors is a double trigger, because it will trigger when you do the passive sensors action, and then once again for the attempt to do the target lock. So there is a possibility where he could do the passive sensors action, roll the die, get a stress, and then is unable to actually get the calculate or the target lock, because it isn't acquire a target lock. It is perform a target lock action. It does say the word action on the card.
Right. Yeah, I mean, again, it's going to come down to where he wants to be a threat, how much of a threat he wants to be out there. And, well, no action either way.
Yeah, a quick reminder out here, Vader does have hate on him, which is the reason why Vader is at 2 force and not at 1. By taking the damage from Chopper, he was able to regain 1 force. Again, hate, for anybody who's not familiar with that card, reads, after you suffer 1 or more damage, recover that many force. So Chopper getting aggressive there, bumping at the moment with the 2 left turn, just trying to get in the way of these aces. You know that Soontir can't turn around because he's currently stressed, but could be in the way of Vader if he's trying to turn to the left. Fifth Brother making the 1 left turn, taking the target lock, preparing to share some pain with Chopper, but is sitting in the arc at the moment, so might be taking a shot there. Dash banking, and he was a 3 bank. He did overlap the debris, which relieved the stress, which is an important note to make. It did relieve the stress, which allows him to do an action, taking the double focuses, which is going to give him 2 shots, most likely into both Fifth Brother and probably Vader, depending on the positioning.
Right, and with Soontir here going, we probably see him take an evade and then boost, and that will line up that bullseye and that be able to get the focus and be pretty defensible against this piston shots, because we could possibly see, with he can fire into Fifth Brother and he can fire into Soontir where he's currently at.
Exactly.
I think there's some debate. Oh, they're flipping the homing missile. He's spent it.
Yeah, exactly. They were just reminding to flip the charge. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, when Stefan, he made the decision to reacquire the lock, he didn't have to spend it last round. Maybe that's just that early first round game. Seems to just, he took it on him. I was, maybe thinking, oh, and here we go. Here's that evade from Soontir. All right. Looks like he wanted to see maybe that gets him actually out of range 3. It's a little tough call. I think he's still in, but
from
range 3
dash. Yeah, from dash. And okay, Vader squeaks through there. Is no block. I'm sure that Dash isn't happy about that. Excuse me, Chopper's not happy about that because he had the potential with Chopper's ability to give those 2 jam tokens, which would break the lock on Vader. Which the more often you can have Vader using those locks, you're making him use the Force, and having to waste actions is not what Vader wants to do. And here comes Dash.
Right. Oh, great call with that barrel roll, though. Getting him just out, that's being able to read the board really well. That's great range control here. But this first shot, it looks like it's going to be going into Fifth Brother here.
All right, here we go. First shot. And there it is. A string of 5 going into Fifth Brother.
So Fifth Brother's still only going to get 3 dice here, so it's definitely 2 damage for sure. But if any... Oh, no.
Oh, he's taken 3. He does have a Force right now.
So if one direct hit goes through, that's going to be it for Fifth Brother in the first shot.
Shield, shield, crit. Oh, he grabs the whole deck.
Just waiting on.
Too strong. Too strong. Let's find out what that crit is, and the crit is Blinded Pilot. All right, well, at least he's a Force user, so not too big of a deal. But now Dash is going to follow up with a second shot. Again, it is Trick Shot, which is why it's 5. Going into Vader, and Outrider Tighter, of course, canceling out that obstruction bonus for Darth Vader. Here we go, 5 on 4 because of range, and spends a focus for 4.
Great. Those are 2 great rolls to follow up with from Dash, especially with the lack of putting in any damage last turn at all. But, that getting in, doing that barrel, getting into that position to be in a place where his next couple shots were going to be obstructed, which was all for his advantage.
And Vader's going to be taking 2 after spending the Force. That's shield and a crit, and that crit is going into the hole. We got half points on Vader as well. Right now, that means that Bartosz is ahead, 40-65. And what was the crit on Vader? It is a Panicked Pilot, double stress. Vader is not going to be turning around anytime soon. No Talon Rows, no K-turns there for the Dark Lord of the Sith.
Right. He can still afterburner, so he got some good repositioning he can do, but he's got to start clearing that off for sure. And, I don't think there's any way that Fifth Brother can take out Chopper this round, so Chopper's probably going to get the fire off and has a good chance, again, once with Saw Gerrera, to be able to finish off Fifth Brother.
All right, so here's Homing Missile. Remember, he got the Force back from Hate. There's a damaged engine, so 2 more damage onto Chopper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So right now he should have 3 hull left on Chopper. Going back into Fifth Brother, might be able to clear him off here with a 4-dice shot, 4v3, and no Force available for Fifth Brother after using his ability. Mm-hmm. Here comes Chopper.
Wow.
Well, he's dead because 3 dice.
Yeah, there's nothing he can do.
Maths.
Yeah.
Because of math. 4 is greater than 3.
Math kills are good kills.
Yeah.
That's big for him.
The natties.
That's just even worse.
Symbolic natties in the chat, please. Symbolic natties in the chat. Instead of Fs, we just need natties in the chat, please. Thank you.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, when you bring a 2-ship list out there, and the fact that it's basically 3 ships with this Biston Perceptive Copilot combo, being able to get those getting both shots off with Dash, and great setup, being able to maximize his ability. You can see the damage swing that this brings to the table, and now, not being able to K-turn because of the Panic Pilot. Forced to turn away. Chopper kind of is still out there, still a menace. Yes, his turns are all red right now, which is a little bit of a nuisance, but he didn't really care anyways because he got Saw Gerrera to continue the pursuit. And Soontir's not going to want to turn in because Dash is just going to circle this rock here and still lay down fire. So Chopper is, being able to put that going to be able to probably put some good firepower in. Stefan has to kind of regroup a little bit here. He has to do a little bit of recovery in the way that's going to, keep both aces out and relevant.
Yeah, and it's interesting the positioning here with Chopper being set out there. The question is Chopper a trap, right? He's 16 health. He didn't die in the first pass. He's seriously injured, but being only compared to Dash, only 79 points, getting half gets you 40, and it leaves you open to taking these shots from Dash. I'm curious, how this shakes out. I mean, it is. Sorry, did I say the wrong number? Sorry, 14 health. Anyway, Chopper is a thick boy. Is the point, and you got a lot to chew through, especially if you're letting Dash do what he's got to do. And now the interesting thing, passive sensors. We'll get the wounded trigger here. By keeping Chopper in the fray, it requires the aces to still pay attention to him. You can't just ignore it.
Right, and that taking that passive action though is kind of shutting down, because I don't expect to see Chopper gone this next round. Being aggressive with Suntir here. This is a great call. Wanting to get into this fight, he needs to recover, and he wants to take out Chopper, it looks like. So with Suntir, and we're gonna probably not see Chopper too much longer here. But again, Dash is there with going to be following up with some good shots into Suntir.
All right, Vader's just trying to clear that stress. There's a 2-bank, relieves the first one. And where's...
Yeah, that's why this wounded pilot has kind of, and the damage engine combo here. If Chopper does survive this round, it's going to be an interesting location of where he can, go next turn, because now he can't just do that too hard to the left and continue firepower into Vader, who's trying to slowly lose all that stress.
So Vader, Suntir getting the bullseye, which triggers his ability, giving him that additional focus. Where's he going to go? Chopper has 3 health left. All right, we're just waiting right now for the players to continue the attack. Stefan choosing his target.
Yeah, I think you got to go into Chopper, which is annoying for Suntir. He probably really wants to follow in, but he gotta take him off the board.
And here is the 3-die shot coming from Suntir. Ooh, he has to roll a result here in order to live, and does not. Chopper removed from the table. The rest of those points going towards Stefan. But the crazy thing is, with the cost of Dash, that makes it so that Stefan is still not ahead, 79-91 right now.
Right, and here, we'll see. Dash here going to be able to get a shot, and maybe, yep, he got both. So Piston double shot, Dash doing the work of 2 ships all on his own, and probably going to go into Suntir first here, which is the right call to start off with.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 2 focuses. Oh, okay, well, that Suntir don't like that. There's some crits in there, 2 hits, 2 crits. And he's got
Bartosz
3 dice. Though he's got focus evade though. He's got focus evade. That means you're relying on blanks to do damage. You're gonna get 1. So just a crit. Well, a crit can be bad when on a 3-hull ship. Let's find out what that crit is. Grabs the card. And what's in the box? And that is a direct hit.
No.
You got half points on Suntir fell. Now, the closest point from Dash to Vader is through the rock. So this is going to be a 5 dice agility, and 4 agility, 5 offensive dice. You spend the focus for 3 hits. Vader does have 3 force available, no focus though. So we'll have to spend force in order to modify. And able to get out of it by spending 1 force. So not a bad exchange for Vader, but Suntir being at 1 health, not too great. Dash is going to have to do some work in order to catch that Suntir, especially now that Suntir has some options to be maneuverable. But of course, there's a lot of obstacles still there. You got that rock and the debris on the right side that could give these aces some fits.
Right, and Dash being Dash, with his ability and the dial of the 1300 or the 2400, he's gonna get to kind of go wherever he wants. So, and with the fact that Vader is still not going to be in this combat for another round, he's turning away. He has to clear that stress. He has to kind of get out of there. Dash, I expect this. We'll probably see Dash. He doesn't need to trigger Piston at this point. He needs to just take Suntir off the board. If it's Vader versus Dash at the end of the game here, especially this is still full health Dash. Dash can do what he wants at that point, and Vader is not as fast as Suntir. and you're talking just one damage, one die has to go through, and Soontir's off the board. And Dash can do that, even at a range 1 interaction. So it's gonna. Oh, go ahead.
What I was going to say is, with that sensor blind spot, I wonder if Bartosz would be willing to take that exchange, especially because he is so far ahead. It's saying, you know what, this is a better move for this turn. I'm going to take a range 1 maybe from one of these pilots, but I'll have a 3-die shot at least into one of these pilots. It'll be interesting to see it. I also wouldn't be surprised to see a possible block attempt this turn. Just kind of getting in Soontir's face and trying to threaten Vader, because again, Vader still is stressed, is not going to be able to hard turn, could afterburners after a 3 hard, so has that as an option, but we'll have to wait and see.
Right, without that target lock already on Dash, since he doesn't have that, it's going to be tough to even justify trying to do that to get damage off. We could probably end up seeing the 3 as a safety precaution to boost out if need be, if he feels like that might even get him out of range. That's probably more important for him than anything. He can't let Vader get shot at. But I do like the call of a possible block here at Dash coming in. Soontir has to go pretty fast. His slowest one is those 1's hards. So, and he's not going to go 1 hard to the right. That's towards that.
Why is that?
So
there's a debris right there, right?
Yep. So that's why, if he does come in, it's going to be a 2 straight. At the slowest, I don't even think I'm trying to get a good angle here. I don't think a 2 bank will fit. So, we could see that turn in like you talk about there, and with Dash, and that should block him and maintain arcs. And then Dash can just kind of be doing what Dash wants to do, which is destroy in this case.
Dash smash. Yeah, Dash is a pilot that for a while people like. On the onset of 2nd edition, we didn't see him much. Then he kind of popped up with this crazy combo, then disappeared because FFG, super raised the points, and is now come into a competitive position again. So it'll be curious to see where it goes. Here is the 3 right turn for Dash. Again, Dash ignores obstacles while moving, so he does not care. Does not care about that debris, and here's a situation where Soontir could end up at range 1. Ooh, gets a block there, which means no shots for Soontir.
And taking stress.
Yep. Yeah. Man, he doesn't like that. That means no turnaround maneuver next turn. All right. Does not roll the crit. Remember, only crits trigger damage on debris. And Vader is up next. Will he land up in the arc? That's going to be the question here.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that might have been the safest call. Already getting the focus out for him away, because definitely in there.
So Vader definitely not going to afterburners here. Probably not. I mean, you have the space, but unless he wants it, that does clear the stress with the 3 straight. No need to barrel roll, because you would just barrel roll into arc possibly. Just leave that alone.
Yeah, I think at this point he's actually out of this arc. This is a great move also to be able to clear that stress, and he can just acquire that target lock now.
Yep, this is the time.
So if with that target lock, he can then come in with a 3 Talon roll next turn and come in fast. But Bartosz is a great player, and we know that, and so he's going to
afterburners. He's trying to get a little extra space from Dash, possibly having the room to run. This does set up the Talon roll for next turn if he's expecting Dash to do a hard turn next turn. But right there, took him out of target lock range. You can see he would have been in range before. So gonna cost Vader a turn to do that. Unless actually he might still have the target lock from earlier. Did he spend it already? No, it was on Dash. Excuse me, it was on Chopper. It was on Chopper. So yeah, he doesn't have a target lock on there. A Talon roll would be a bad idea, because then you don't get to be Vader. You have a pea shooter. You have 2 dice only.
Yep. Yeah. And Dash with that 2 agility and double focus is like, I'm okay with this.
Mm-hmm.
And again, he's full health right now still. So this is a lot of work for these 2 injured aces. They got to make up a lot of ground here. So Stefan has to play cautious, and I think he's doing what he thinks is best right now. And I agree with him on that. He kind of has to do this weird regrouping flanking to prevent not only getting shot at by Dash, but also allowing the Biston double shot. We don't want to, you don't want to see that all of a sudden one round you kind of could lose both aces too. So this is going to be a long game. Stefan has to play a great long game now for recovery. And again, these guys, if the green dice kind of go his way and Bartosz's reds don't cooperate a little bit, now there's a good chance that he's going to recover.
Yeah, exactly. Aces, their job is to live on the razor's edge, right? It's like you gotta be perfect. Like in these end game scenarios, use your maneuverability to get out of arcs. Soontir is especially good at this and is honestly a fantastic weapon against Dash. But right now, positionally, Bartosz just has the advantage. So we'll see if Stefan can take advantage of that. And I believe it looks like Bartosz is set. We're waiting for the Vader dial, and I can understand why that is. That dial's a little bit of a struggle. You don't have a target lock. You kind of want to engage, but can you? That's the question. Because you could do a 3-hard turn afterburners, but you're likely not going to have a shot because of the angle. You'll have a target lock, but is it worth it at this point? Do you just 4K now and have enough distance and come in later? Like that's it's kind of a weird spot to be in right now. And there's a 3 bank.
Wasn't sure what Bartosz would be doing here. He knows Soontir's going to completely disengage, and if Soontir goes left, he got a great call and will catch him. But if Soontir goes right, yeah, he's not going to get him, but Soontir's also not going to get him either. There's just the geometry doesn't allow that to happen here. So, this puts him in a good spot to even next turn to follow up with where these aces go. So thinking 2 to 3 turns ahead here has been Bartosz's, winning strategy right now. And he's been doing a great job laying down Dash's moves all along. He's setting up his shots for the follow-up round after that first round of engagement was, and we saw the payoff for it. It's been immense.
All right, so Bartosz deciding on his action. I know he has those 2 focuses out there, but still deciding. It looks like he's committed to the double focus. Soontir making the turn. He won't be able to quite get the angle for a shot, but he can prepare to turn it around. He is safe at the moment with the arc on Dash being left-right. The back arc is free to move as possible. And actually, I really like this, taking the opportunity to get a target lock so that you can use the repositions in the following turns.
Yeah, you gotta start getting you got to start being able to set up the good damage output while saving with these aces, saving the other mods for defense. And
yeah, something real quick, Duke. I do need to mention Stefan had at some point accidentally flipped his crack shot charge, so he flipped it back. Just for anybody who may have watched it on the screen. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's good. He never spent that. The only opportunity would have been for Dash earlier, and he didn't have that. He shot in the chopper to take him off the board. Yeah, we got that. I think you called that, Dion. That was the 4 straight there. Going nice and fast with Vader.
I'm surprised. Like I would have preferred the 4K though. I think just to get Vader possibly back in the fight. But he does take the opportunity to target lock now, which is great. Vader should be able to engage with a lock next turn, and this does set up the possibility for a Talon roll. Just a little note from the table mic because I can hear it. Stefan was a little bit worried about doing the hard turns in and possibly getting in Dash's arc if Bartosz had turned the arc. That was the fear there. But Bartosz committing to the double focuses to make sure that he can get both shots. But I will say this next upcoming turn with Vader so far away, I wonder if Bartosz just turns to the left here and just tries to finish Soontir. If Soontir overcommits to the right side, Bartosz could do a hard turn and be out of Soontir's arc.
Right, yeah, that's gonna be the tough call with him. That he can, again, Bartosz has a couple options. He can go there, the one hard. That was my first instinct.
There you
this
go.
allows him to most likely get a shot off into Vader, but I believe this could give the option for Soontir to get out of this arc, and then put in some good return fire.
Yep. And it looks like it's Bartosz's goal just to maybe keep the pressure on Vader. And I mean, he has full health now, so, being potentially risky isn't a big deal. He is ahead, but he's just got to be careful not to give up too many turns where Soontir is able to just keep eating at the back of Dash while trying to chase Vader. Because right now, what Stefan is successfully doing is using Vader as bait.
Right, but the other thing to account for is Dash likes those rocks. He wants to be within there, and turning towards the other way probably would have kept Soontir within his arc the whole time. But if he can play going back in through these rocks, Soontir is more annoyed because there's a better chance another 5 dice trick shot comes into him, and that's gonna be the end of him pretty much at that point.
There's the Talon roll. I think we might just barely be in range 3. Well, Afterburners is a possibility if Vader wants to get aggressive, but he is sitting in that arc at the moment and would not have any access to focuses. He has all 3 force available.
Yeah, this is Bartosz is keeping that good pressure with Vader. Stefan once was, he was maybe hoping maybe that was just going to be just out. But this is going to be definitely a shot into Vader coming in.
All right,
so I think it's the right call to stay range 3 there.
All right, are we sure we have range? Check range. Yes. Okay. Just want to make sure. There you go. All right. So we have range 3. So that means Dash is going to get a range 3 shot back. Remember that. So he has to think about his force expenditure here. Can't go too crazy. 3 dice because of having the target lock. He can change that hit to a crit and then re-roll both of those blanks. There it is. Spending the lock. The time is now. You have a shot. Hoping to probably get some natty hits here. Gonna have to think about that one force, and is he gonna do it? He is. Hit, crit, trying to get this damage into Dash now. Dash spends focus to avoid both, and to avoid 2 of them. It does take a single shield. Has only 1 shot, so didn't care about keeping the second focus, and willing to spend it on defense because, of course, Dash's life is right now Bartosz's biggest commodity. You got to keep Dash alive to have a chance to win the game. And, all right. Soontir is going to end up with 3 after spending the focus. Here's the 2 agility from Dash. Got 1 focus. Has to re-roll that because it was out the box. No, interesting question here. Does he want to spend the focus? He is going to spend it and just rely on some natties here on the shot. I actually think this is a great idea on Bartosz's shot. Hold on to that force. Hold on to that life while you can. So here we go, going into Vader.
You don't want to just throw away. You don't want to just throw away the Dash's life at this point, especially since the next turn, Vader's return. Dash will be getting some really good firepower out there. So.
All right, so Bartosz regretting a little bit spending both those focuses. Could have had a string of 4. Vader has 4 agility, and Vader has, I believe, 2 force available. Looks like one of them may have rolled away at some point. There it is.
There it is. I think he might have stacked TTS stack.
All right. Oh, this isn't looking good. This is not looking good.
Looking for some sort of paint.
All right, it's fine. Spend the force. You're fine. It's fine. And a great call by Stefan to keep the
Oh no, he did spend the Vader lock, so he's gonna have to reacquire that. But you know, I think what we will probably see here is Vader 3 great again, and that will clear that stress and try and get him closer in towards Dash. Now Dash, where depending on where Dash goes and Wave Bartosz has been playing, he's kind of been circling this area of the top middle 2 debris there. So we'll probably see him kind of swing around in there still. Unfortunately, if he does do that, he won't have arc on anyone. So we could see like a 2 hard to the left or a 1 hard to the left, and that would re-put that lock or that arc back on Suntir, and I don't believe there'd be any way for Suntir to escape at this time. So, you know, and then Vader probably even just bumps into him, and that will help Dash out long term.
I totally agree here. One of the things I you know, again, I have the table mics. I just want to give some give some commentary here. So with Bartosz choosing to spend the focus defensively both of the times, he did mention, he goes, man, I would have killed Vader. Like, Vader would be dead at this point if he had not spent one of those focuses on defense. So you know that in Bartosz's mind, he's worried a little bit about Vader, the offensive potential there, and if Dash turns away like he is now, Vader does have the back arc now the open for him to be able to do something like like a 3 straight and afterburners and have a completely uncontested shot into Dash, potentially getting into the hole with a crit, because Dash now only has 2 shields.
Right, and Suntir here, we could see Suntir just escape this arc. He could pull classic Suntir with that barrel boost away and potentially escape that arc completely, and leaving Dash very vulnerable to just damage. But at the same time, if you can use, knowing we're probably going to see that 3 straight from Vader and a boost with the afterburners and get a focused target lock, I think you try to get those shields off with Suntir and get that crit in with Vader this turn. This is a good, you know, you might lose Suntir, but if Vader is there and can continue to put crits into Dash, that is, you know, just as important. Because one bad crit for Bartosz could change the entire game.
Yep.
You know, not a panic pilot, but most likely, like, you know, a blinded pilot, which, you know, Dash has a tough time recovering from that.
Oh yeah. Now, you know, looking at it, I'm not Suntir. It's going to be really close whether or not a barrel roll to the left as far forward as possible and a boost to the left would actually clear the arc. There is a potential for the very back of the base to end up being in the arc still. It's close. It's really close. Right. But yeah, he would have to barrel roll first to have a chance because he's at an angle. Oh, he's choosing violence. He's evade, boosting. Okay, now remember, that does not give Dash an extra die. It actually is going to subtract a die from him because of the sensor blind spot on the 2400. And that is a 1 left bank from Vader. Clears the stress. He'll be able to barrel roll away from that rock to get an unobstructed shot onto Dash, though.
He was, you know what? I think Stefan was thinking there that possibly that turn in from Dash to block Vader, and so this was, you know, to prevent that. But now he's going to just be able to acquire this lock, barrel roll out, and still just take no shots back. And, you know, even though it's range 3 versus, you know, with the target lock ATC, there's going to be a crit going into tier this round.
All right, so Vader takes his lock. Most likely going to do a reposition here, so he doesn't have to worry about that obstacle next turn. And yeah, another thing to note here with the evade boosting in, it makes it so that Suntir is going to end up with focus evade with his ability. Another great defensive position. If he couldn't guarantee getting out of the arc, you know, you token stack and hope that you get enough. And I mean, with the focus evade, there's a pretty high chance that that you end up getting at least, you know, 2.5, having those 3 dice there. All right, so let's go ahead and roll those red dice. Suntir gets a focus, and we'll find out who is shooting first here.
Oh, man, looks like he's choosing Vader first again.
Yeah, this is. I don't agree with the order. He should definitely have shot with Soontir first to strip the shield.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the other aspect to think about is he's trying to use everything he can to maybe even strip some of those focuses off there.
Maybe additionally, something going through his mind is he's not willing to spend the he's like, I'm not going to spend the focus on Soontir, so I'm not even going to shoot there to not even I'm not even going to worry about it. He's going to spend the focus, no damage from Vader. Here comes Soontir. You know, sometimes I know that the conventional thinking is like, oh, you just try to strip shields first and then you let Vader go in. But in this case, that focus is something that Stefan could definitely want to hold on to. So here we go. Because he could just be looking at it as a 4-dice unmodified shot instead of actually having the focus token. Unless it's, or you just roll natties.
Or you just do that.
2 hits, 2 crits. Oh, he's got the focuses. He's absolutely spending it.
And he got the crack shot.
Crack shot. And the crit goes through there. That's half points on dash. And this, I think, is going to get Stefan ahead 140 to 121. And the panic pilot is what Bartosz ends up with.
Dash has no problem with panic pilot. With doing a blue maneuver next, and he can clear that stress by going over a debris cloud with the Outrider title. So he can do that and then still end up with actions next turn. But this unmodified shot into Soontir, yeah, that's just there's no way he can kill him. He got that evade, so Soontir's safe no matter what now.
Yep, and right here, Dash only got 1 hit, and they're not going to even worry about the the defense dice on Soontir because Soontir has an evade token. And yeah, you're absolutely right. The hard turn to the left is probably what's on the docket here for Dash. Or sorry, the a bank to the left is probably what's on the docket here to clear the stress, like you said, and be fine because you can get them both off. But it does lock his dial just a little bit, though. I doubt that Bartosz wants to be that predictable.
Right. And the other aspect is Vader is going to get to do what Vader wants to do right now. Stefan maintaining that range management here, and then also arc dodging very well with Vader in this late game. Is the comeback that he was looking for. We talked about earlier of just trying to able to manage these 2 aces in a way that allows them to not be in one, like force dash to shoot only at one and not the other, and that's really changing the aspect of the game.
Absolutely. So for anybody who's watching, the Soontir is stress. It's just the angle. It's perfectly hidden behind that flared wing. If you enhance, you will see the bottom left-hand corner sticking out the cockpit. And right now, I will tell you that Bartosz is cringing at the fact that he did not hold on to a focus for offense on that shot on Vader. But again, like the
you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
It's hard. It's hard to. You have no idea what your dice are going to do to you. So he could have. I always feel like when I play, like I should have saved that. And then it always goes the opposite way. It's like if I decided to keep it for offense, and then I roll all blanks, and so there's no recovery from that either. This dash. The tough thing I think we saw in a couple of the other dash lists that made top 32, like that's the lone wolf dash, and Bartosz is he's missing that right now because that would at least even give Dash a chance to have that arc management, that arc rotation on this follow-up turn, and still be using that. But this this trick shot has paid off for sure with being able to roll those 5 dice early on in the game, swinging the game in his favor. But again, Stefan, gotta give him, you gotta give him a lot of credit. He played the long game, and it is paying off for him right now, making a big comeback.
Yeah, the disengagement with Vader. Vader successfully being bait. And here we go. Bartosz saying, I'm going to take the 3 turn. I do lose 1 stress because I overlap the obstacle, and that's using the Outrider title, and should be able to clear the last stress pretty easily next turn. But Soontir is going to get into the booty now. We'll see the boost here. Dash not too happy about taking another range 1 shot.
Probably going to follow up with a target lock here too, so he's just going to be pure offensive strength into dash with no return fire.
Yep. And that again, that focus coming from the ability.
Was the Soontir was the one I was most afraid of too, being up against dash, especially this attack focus one version of Soontir.
All right. And that looks like we saw the target lock action there. There's the boost. And yeah, that bullseye, pretty sure it's on. It's close, but we're pretty sure that's going to end up being target lock focus. Vader takes the 3 straight, clears the stress, is in... He can afterburners, but does that actually get him out? I'm not sure.
I don't believe that will get him out, but I think you get in closer now at this point. You got a free shot with Soontir, and Vader can easily put crits in again here, and follow up, so get in close and maximize your damage output at this point. You already got the target lock. It doesn't need to actually use the force there, but we could be seeing him debate whether to barrel, because I believe this might be clipping that rock, so he doesn't want to take if dash does survive these 2 shots, he doesn't want to be taking a 5 dice return shot.
Yep, he also could barrel to the right and not get shot, and there it is.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Yeah.
Yep.
My morning eyes now.
Yep, it's all right. It's all right. Okay, here we go.
Great play by Stefan.
And that is going to be obstructed. Range 2. A dash essentially right now just hoping for natties because he could die right here. Only 5 health left. No agility. Vader's going to re-roll now with fire control system. And that's going to be hit crit after the advanced targeting computer trigger. Only gets 1. Hit crit coming in. And that is another panicked pilot. Yeah, there's no more actions for dash. They're gone forever. Soontir could finish him off right here. Range 1 in bullseye just barely, so he's going to have that focus.
Yeah, this is most likely going to be it for dash with that 3 haul focus target lock Soontir.
And here's a target lock. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 damage, and that is the end of dash. Good game played between Bartosz and Stefan. Congratulations to Stefan making it to the top 16. That was a tough loss for Bartosz. I know he's going to go back in his mind and just continue to think about the focus expenditure there. That is the difference in this game, because if Vader's dead, right? If Vader's dead, then you don't have to worry about 2 ships. It's just dash versus Soontir, which then you have different maneuver possibility. Like, that completely changes the trajectory of the game. But again, Stefan kept on the gas.